Welcome to Global Economic Press, where we deliver trusted global finance and economic news, analysis, and reports, empowering leaders and investors with reliable, timely insights. I'm your host, Alex Brady. In today's episode, we delve into the latest findings from Permutable, which reveal a growing divide in global industrial production sentiment. While countries like Canada, India, and South Korea are experiencing strengthening industrial sentiment, others, such as the United Kingdom, Germany, and China, are facing challenges. Join us as we explore the factors driving these shifts and what they mean for the global economic landscape. Global industrial production sentiment is becoming increasingly divided, with resources, metals, electricity supply, and investment-related activity strengthening while automotive manufacturing and demand-sensitive industries remain under pressure, according to new data from Permutable. Analysis from Permutable's global macro sentiment indices found that Canada recorded the largest weekly improvement in industrial production sentiment during the 7 days ending 2nd August 2026, followed by India and South Korea. The United Kingdom registered the sharpest deterioration, closely followed by Germany, while China recorded the third largest decline. The findings point to an uneven industrial cycle rather than a broad-based global manufacturing recovery. Heavy industry and productive investment are gaining momentum in several economies, while weaker demand, automotive disruption, and competitive pressure continue to weigh on major manufacturing markets. Global industrial production sentiment rankings compare average directional sentiment per matched headline during 27 July 2nd August 2026 with the preceding 7-day period. Largest improvements: Canada, plus 0.76, India, 0.49, South Korea, plus 41, Turkey, 32, Italy, Sudan. Largest deteriorations: United Kingdom, 0.86, Germany, 0.5, China, 0.67, Romania, 0.26. Canada's improvement was driven primarily by oil, gas, mining, and new productive capacity. India recorded broader growth across manufacturing, electricity supply, and capital goods, while South Korea's improvement extended beyond semiconductors into facility investment, consumption, and business expectations. The declines reflected different forms of industrial pressure. Weak vehicle production and softer commercial vehicle demand weighed on the United Kingdom. Germany faced growing concerns around energy costs, competitiveness, automotive restructuring, and future investment. China remained constrained by weaker domestic and external demand despite substantial productive capacity. Jack Watson, market analyst at Permutable, said, "Early August saw a further separation in the global industrial cycle, with the strongest improvements concentrated in economies closest to resources, metals, and capital goods. Canada was led by oil, gas, and mining, while India and South Korea recorded broader gains across manufacturing, power, and investment capacity. Conditions were less positive in the United Kingdom and Germany, where competitiveness increasingly matters more than capacity. China's main constraint remains subdued demand. Production is holding up at the investment and resource end of the chain, but stalling where it meets final demand." Drivers of global industrial sentiment shifts: Canada, resource-led growth supported by oil sands, mining investment, and new capacity. India, broad momentum across manufacturing, electricity, and infrastructure-related investment. South Korea, gains extending beyond semiconductors into investment and domestic activity. Turkey, steel and metals offset weakness in consumer-facing manufacturing. Italy, stronger orders suggested a firmer, although still tentative, pipeline. United Kingdom, automotive disruption drove the largest deterioration. Germany, competitiveness and restructuring, concerns weakened the medium-term outlook. China, softer orders and domestic demand constrained production. Romania, lower electricity generation raised concerns for energy-intensive industries. Permutable's data indicate that industrial activity is expanding selectively rather than uniformly. Resources, metals, electricity, and productive investment are supporting growth, but this has not yet translated into a broad recovery in manufactured trade, household demand, or factory employment. The analysis uses the directional sentiment component of Permutable's global macro sentiment indices for economic data, production growth, industrial. Countries required at least 15 matched headlines in both periods. The scores measure changes in reporting sentiment, not percentage changes in physical output, and should not be treated as substitutes for official production statistics.